All good. All right. So then we're going to start off and we can come lying on our backs, as always, in your constructive rest posture. So again, any position that you feel comfortable with. So I know that for me, I like to have a little bit of support underneath my head and my neck. And if you like having your legs straight, if you find that that eases your lower back, then you can have your legs straight out into the mat. If you find that it's more comfortable for your back to have your knees bent, then please bend them. Place your hands wherever you feel comfortable. And then close your eyes. And we take 5 minutes to just ease into kind of the space that we are in right now. So the idea is to just really soften the whole body down into the ground. So you allow the ground to support you. And as you allow your body to soften and to relax, you become more and more aware of your breath. So feeling the breath as it flows in and very slowly out. And then as you continue to follow your breath in and out, seeing if you can lengthen the exhalation just a little. So as you inhale, maybe counting to 3 or possibly 4, and exhale maybe 1 or 2 counts longer. Don't feel that you need to strain your breath or your lungs in any way. Just allow it to be fairly natural, with a focus on your exhalation being just a little longer than the inhalation. So that already takes us into a space of deeper relaxation, allowing the nervous system to realize that there's no need to be in that stressed state, that we're going into the kind of activating the parasympathetic nervous system, moving away from the fight or flight, allowing the body to register that it's now in a safe place, that it's time to relax, allowing all the other organs that would normally be at alert to soften and to release, and then allowing them to continue with their natural functions. And all of that happens by focusing on just the breath. So we can really affect what happens internally quite a lot, not quite dramatically, but by just focusing on the breath, and something so simple. And the easiest way is by lengthening that exhalation. Smooth, comfortable inhalation, and a slightly longer exhalation. And then if you have your legs straight, just bend them for now. If your knees are bent, let them stay bent. And start to rock the pelvis. So take it into a pelvic tilt. So we've all done this before. You can keep the eyes closed, and you can enjoy that feeling of inhaling where you notice a little arch in your lower back. Exhaling, it's flat and the small of the back down into the mat. So inhaling, rocking the pelvis back and forth. So we're taking the time to do this movement to kind of just wake up the body a little and let it know that we're now going to get into kind of the asana section of practice of where we're going, what we're doing. And then from here you can bring your knees to your chest and take it into a few rounds of your Trikonasana, making the movement a little bigger. Inhaling as you straighten the out, exhale as you bend your elbows. Inhale as you straighten the arms. Exhale as you bend your elbows. So doing that 2 or 3 more times. That's looking great. Well done, guys. And then take it into a candle sequence. So as you inhale, extend the legs up and you can take your arms over your head if your shoulders feel comfortable. As you exhale, bend your knees to your chest and bring your arms back down. A few rounds here, inhaling as you extend, exhaling as you bend your knees and your arms come down. Feeling that as you inhale, you can open. It doesn't have to be a strong or intense movement with your legs just yet. You're allowing it to be fairly fluid. You can keep your knees soft, your ankles soft. So just making sure that if there are any cracks or creaks that you're starting to release them. And doing one more round, inhaling as you send the legs up. Let them stay there. Bring the arms back down alongside your body. See if you can have your knees over your hips. And then from there, you're going to flex the feet a little. And if that feels comfortable, then you're going to press into your heels, straightening the legs as much as you feel comfortable. Just until you feel a bit of a stretch through the back of the knees, maybe into the hamstrings, calves. Feel that your back can be in contact with the mat. The sacrum is supported by the ground. So just make sure that you're not bringing your legs too close to you, that your buttocks starts to lift. Keep the buttocks grounded, sacrum grounded, knees in line with the hips. And then from there you start working into the back of the legs. So we need to take the legs a little wider apart now and rotating into the ankles. Rotating them the other way. Bringing them a little closer together and paddle the feet. And then give the legs a little tremble. Bring the knees back to your chest, give them a quick squeeze. And you can take it into your circling Trikonasana. So as you exhale, your knees come towards you and you close them. Inhale as you send them forwards and open. Exhale towards you and close. Inhaling forwards and open. And you can keep your big toes touching as you do this movement. That way you know that you're not going to be taking your hips too wide apart. And then change direction, same thing the other way. So in this session we're going to be working towards Trikonasana, the standing posture, the triangle. We'll be doing lots of little movements to help prepare the body to hold the posture at the end of the evening or the class. And once you've completed your last one, you can slip your hands behind, or one hand behind a leg, send the other one up behind you, and you can swing up. If that doesn't feel right, roll it to your right side and come up slowly. And you can grab your hard block or a towel or something to sit on so that you've got a little bit of lift. And from here, you'll be taking it into Trikonasana, the cobra. So getting yourself ready and comfortable, let the soles of your feet come together. And again, starting with a dynamic movement to ease into the hips, just a soft little flapping up and down. If you want to make it more controlled, engage the inner thighs and then relax them. If you feel like just having kind of a soft, light movement, let them flap comfortably. And then you can hold the posture again. So you can either walk your buttocks a little closer to your heels, or you can draw your heels in towards you. Place your hands wherever you feel comfortable. Your knees, hold onto your ankles, you can slip your hands around your toes. And close the eyes again for a moment. Feel that the spine is able to lengthen. Soften into the shoulders. Feel that your sitting bones are even and are balanced down on a hard block or the ground. So feel how the lower half of your body, your buttocks, your legs are grounded and rooted. There's a lovely feeling of stability and a sense of heaviness or weightedness falling you down, connecting you to the earth. And then become aware of the spine and the crown of your head and feel the lovely sense of lightness lifting you up to the heavens. So there's that lovely kind of magnetic pull of being drawn down to the earth, feeling weighted and grounded, and a lovely lightness drawing you. The breath is able to move in and out freely. And then from there, staying in that posture, see if you can sweep your arms out to the side, interlock the fingers, fold the palms of the hands up. Inhale smoothly, and as you exhale, you're going to lean over to the right for a moment. Staying here. Now, as you lean over to the right, make sure that you don't roll onto that hip and that the other hip lifts up. Try and ground down through the opposite sitting bone. Inhale, bring yourself back to the center. And as you exhale, leaning over to the left. And ground down through your left sitting bone, your right sitting bone. Feel that your chest can stay open, so watch that you don't round forward. Try and keep the chest open. Inhale, bring yourself back to center. Exhale, release. And circle the shoulders a few times in one direction. Circle them a few times the other way. And release. Stretching the legs out in front, give them a quick shake. And then take your legs a comfortable distance apart. So they don't have to be very wide, but really something that is comfortable for your hips. And what you just want to become aware of now is if you were to draw a center line through the middle of you, kind of the degree that your left leg is at and the degree that your right leg is at. So if I look at mine, if that's 90 degrees, mine is probably about 40 degrees. So just noticing that already, because that's going to become important when we work into our Trikonasana. So there are not many people who get their legs to 90 degrees, but you'll probably find that you're between 40 and 60 degrees, somewhere around there. So just noticing that, making sure that you're comfortable. If you find that your inner thighs or your hamstrings are too tight, bend your knees up so that it's more comfortable for the legs. Inhale as you sweep the arms up, reach into the fingers. As you exhale, take your right fingertips, gently rotate and bring them in the direction of your left leg. So you can either reach for your knee, your shin, your ankle, maybe your toes, the opposite arm goes behind you. So there's a slight rotation. Inhale as you come back to the center. Exhale, other side, taking your left hand to your right leg. Inhale, center. And exhale, rotate. So you continue again moving to the rhythm of your breath, working dynamically. Inhale as you come to the center. Exhale as you rotate. Feeling that there's a little bit of a movement in the waist, and the sides of the body. Once more, so the next time you're over, or you're working your right arm to your left leg, let it stay there. You can release that left arm to the mat behind you, so you've got a little bit of support. Feel that you can keep the spine long and just gently rotating to look over that left shoulder. Few smooth breaths here. Remember that if you're feeling very stiff, you can always continue moving dynamically. On your inhalation, you're coming back to the center. Exhaling, rotating the other way. Letting the opposite hand go behind you. Make sure that your neck feels comfortable, so you can follow kind of your shoulder, so you can continue looking over that right shoulder, or bring the head to neutral. As you inhale, bring yourself back to center. And as you exhale, release the arms, bring the legs together, And shake them out. So resting or having the legs in Dandasana, feel that you can squeeze the inner thighs together. Feel that you can gently press the kind of back of the legs down into the ground, all the while keeping your spine long. So again, if you feel you're going to lose the integrity of your spine, then rather bend your knees so that you can keep the spine lengthened. Feel that you can try and spread your toes so that there's a little bit of space between each of the toes. Trying to keep your big toes or your landing bones together. You can bring the hands alongside your hips and gently press down into the ground. And taking 2 more deep breaths here. And releasing. Shaking up the legs. And then from here we're going to come onto our knees. Maureen, are you okay on your knees?
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay, all right, so let's see how that goes. If it's uncomfortable to sit back onto your heels, then you can stay kneeling up. But for those who are all right to sit back onto the heels, can do so. Here we go. Right. So from here, inhaling you to reach the arms up, interlock the fingers again, reaching the arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, you're going to lean over to the right. Inhale, bring yourself back to the center, exhale over to the left. And do that twice more to each side. Inhaling to the center, exhaling over, feeling how you're able to lengthen through the sides of your body. To each side.
That's it.
Inhaling back to the center. Exhale, you need to release the arms. You need to come up, you need to tuck under your toes. Make sure you take your little toes out and then see if you can sit back onto your heels. If you can't sit quite back onto your heels, just stay up and feel that you're able to work the toes a little. And if you're not able to work them under just yet, feel that you can kind of press down through the top of your feet and that you're getting stretched through the top of the feet. If you're able to tuck them under, do so, eventually working the weight back. Just giving a chance to say hello to the toes. And when you're ready, release, spread your toes, scrunch them up, spread them, scrunch them, and tap them. A lovely arm sequence to work into the shoulders here. We can either do it sitting or you can do it coming up onto your knees. I'll demonstrate both. So inhaling, reaching the arms up. As you exhale, you're going to take your left arm behind you as you reach your right hand down towards the mat, allowing the forehead to come down in the direction of the mat. It doesn't have to touch the mat. Inhale as you use your abdominals to lift that arm back up. And exhale as you release both arms back out to the side. And then you do the same thing on the other side. Inhaling as the arms lift. Exhale as your right arm comes behind you. Your left hand reaches the mat. Inhale as you use the strength of your abdominals and the back to lift you. Exhale as you release. If you can't be sitting down, inhaling as your arms lift. Exhale as you take one arm behind you, allow the fingertips of the opposite hand to reach the ground. Inhaling, use your abdominals to lift up. Exhale, release. Inhaling as the arms lift. Exhale, right arm behind you as your left fingertips reach the mat. Again, using the abdominals to lift. Exhale as you release. So whichever version you're doing, do 2 more rounds to each side. Exhaling as you fall forwards or down. Inhale, using that sense of lightness to lift you up. So again, your lower body from your waist down, your hips down, are grounded, stable, they're rooted. And your upper body is light, so especially as you lift yourself up, you're as light as a feather and you float up with ease. So once more to each side, noticing how you're softening and releasing into the shoulders very gently, very safely. Dynamic movement, nice way to prepare and warm up the spine as well. And after you've completed your round, and again remember, absolutely no rush to release and to complete. You can release into Mandragasana, your frog pose. So see if you can bring your big toes together, your knees a comfortable distance apart. We're going to walk the hands forwards. We're going to work the elbows out to the sides, and we're going to keep the hands under the forehead for the moment. We'll change that in a little while. So just getting yourself comfortable in Mandragasana or any variation thereof. And because we need to start working into lengthening and opening the side body, you're going to extend your right arm out in front of you. And with your right arm out in front of you, you're now going to start walking your whole body over to the left side, so that you can feel that lovely stretch that runs from your right arm all the way down the side, down into your hip as you lie. If you need to, you can turn your head to the left if you find that it's more comfortable for the neck. Again, 3 slow breaths in this posture so that you can really relax and release into it. Complete your 3 breaths. Walk yourself back to the center. Bring that right hand back to on top of the left. Take a moment to compare the sides. And then when you're ready, extend your left arm out in front and start to slide or walk your body over to the right side. And feel that you can rest in this posture here, meaning that you're now able to lengthen and create space through the left side of the body as you gently squeeze into the right. Again, just noticing at the angle of the hips. And after your 3rd breath, slow breath, you inhale back to the center. You can choose. You can either extend both arms out in front of you for a moment, or you can bring both hands under your forehead. Bring everything back into alignment. Nice neutral posture. Walk your hands towards you. Slowly uncurl, bring the neck and head up last. If you need to, you can lean back to drain the sinuses. You can come right up onto your knees to drain the sinuses. And then when you are ready, coming down onto your abdomen for a few postures on the tummy. So as usual, starting off in your dolphin by bringing your big toes together, let your heels drop out to the side, slip your hands under your forehead, and work with a couple of deep breaths into your belly. So as you inhale, really feel that your belly is able to press down into the ground, and as you exhale, feel that you can release that pressure. Nice deep abdominal breaths. One more slow, deep breath there. And release. Right. Taking it into a very gentle cobra. So the legs are going to be straight back. So make sure that the toes are not turned in now. So the legs are straight back. You can either have your legs hip width apart or you can bring your legs together. See what's most comfortable for your back. Let the forehead rest on the mat. Slip your hands under your shoulders and feel that you can draw your elbows in towards your body. Feel that you can spread your fingers nice and wide. And then from there, as you press down through the pelvis, the lower body, which is stabilizing you, inhale, draw your nose along the mat. Feel that you can create a sense of lightness with your heart center. So feel as if your chest can lightly float forwards and up. And as you exhale, coming back down. We're doing 4 of those. Inhaling as you come up. Keep looking down at the mat. Bless you. And as you exhale, coming down slowly. Good. 2 more rounds. Inhaling as you just gently pressing the hips down into the mat, pressing down through the top of your feet. Your lower body is strong and stable. Your upper body is nice and light. On your next round, so either the 4th or the 5th round, stay up. Hold the posture here. Continue to breathe as you hold it. And just check that you're using the abdominals and your back muscles to stabilize the movement by lifting your hands off the mat a fraction and watching that you don't drop down. Then place the hands back down for support so that you can lightly press into the hands, rotating or drawing the elbows closer in towards the body, keeping the neck nice and long. And then from here, we're going to release down, back under the toes, and gently press yourself up and back. And you can either take it into a child's pose, you can take it into a puppy, or if you feel like it, you can bring yourself up into a downward facing dog, making sure that the spine stays long and the knees are nice and bent. So any kind of version that works for you, where you need to lengthen your spine, using that as a counter pose, either your child's pose or your downward dog. Lovely. And then from there, we will all come into a downward dog. Bring yourself forwards onto all fours, tuck under your toes as best you can, lift your knees, push up and back, keep the knees nicely bent, let your head hang down. Feel that you can get the sting bones a little higher, lengthen a little bit more through the spine. And then you can either walk your feet towards your hands, or your hands towards your feet, or kind of doing both. Soften into your shoulders, soften into your neck, and hang down in your floppy forward bend for a moment. As you hang down, you can check that your feet are even and parallel. Feel that you're starting to open up through the back of your legs a little. Even with your knees bent, you can think of angling your sitting bones up towards the sky. And then when you really slowly uncurl, rolling through each vertebra, keeping the knees nice and light, nice and soft, keeping the hips drawn in. And only once you're all the way up, standing and your spine is straight, do you release the neck. And you can shake out. You can circle your shoulders if you need to. Right, let's start off with a few hip circles. Take the feet a comfortable distance apart and circling the hips of the pelvis. And then circling them the other way. Great. And back to the center.
Right, so for the next posture is where you're going to need your toilet roll or your yoga brick, whatever you have. It is just an idea, you just need something to kind of remind you to be working your inner thighs together. So it's a nice little sequence that I learned from a yoga teacher called Donna Fari, and it helps to work into a squat quite safely and engaging kind of the front of your body and the back of your body. If you don't have a brick or anything handy, then don't stress. You just think of keeping your feet and your legs engaged and activated so that there's a drawing in. So we're going to start off by keeping the knees light. You're going to have light pressure to the inner thighs, and you're going to start off by just kind of bringing the palms of your hands towards each other, crossing them, and then you're going to be reaching the arms up and exhaling, sinking into a little bit of a squat. And you do that again. So you're going to bend, you're going to kind of round forwards, and then as you inhale, you're going to open up and exhale, releasing. This is if you're doing windmills with your arms, inhaling as you reach them up, exhaling, maybe sinking a little bit deeper. And once more like this, inhaling as you reach them up, exhaling, release. We're going to do the same thing, but this time as you inhale, you're going to see if you can lift up onto the balls of your feet. If not, you keep the feet down and you continue what we were doing. And exhaling, releasing. As you release down, your heels come down. So as you inhale, you're lifting up onto the balls of your feet, coming up. And now to a count of 4, very slowly exhaling, releasing the arms down and through. So we'll do that twice more. Inhaling as we come up. And then exhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time, breathing in and out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhaling as we come up. We're going to stay up here for a moment. Hold it here. Keep breathing. Feel that you're gently pressing into your block. And then from there, on your next exhalation, you need to come down slowly, 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 release the arms, and feel that you can settle in the squat here. Feel that you're gently pressing the brick or your toilet roll towards, squeezing that in. Feel that you can soften the shoulders. Feel that your feet are nice and stable. And then just inhale, float the arms up. And exhale, out and down. And again, inhale, floating the arms up. Feeling the abdominals engaging. Exhale, floating them down. One last one. Inhale, floating the arms up. Easy, lightly, effortlessly. Exhaling, floating the arms down. And then as you inhale, straighten the legs. And as you exhale, shaking them out. Lovely. Right. So that was a nice way of, again, working into strengthening the legs safely. What we're going to do now is when you bring your feet together, as if you're in Tadasana, your mountain pose, you are then going to turn your feet out to the sides. And when you bend your knees, making sure that your knees go over your feet. So don't turn your feet out so much that your toes are one way and your knees are in another direction. So the feet only turn out as much as when you bend your knees, that your knees track your feet. And the reason why we're just playing with this is that this gives you an idea of the true angle that your hip is able to move. So if I look at, again, if I have my center line and then that direction would be 90, I can see that my foot is probably at about 40, 45 degree, at about a 40, 45 degree angle, and that's what we're going to be looking at when we do our Trikonasana now. So when we take our legs nice and wide apart for our base, we're going to turn the right foot to the right. And when you turn the right foot to the right, let your whole leg in the hip joint turn as well. And what that means is that this back hip will probably have to come forwards a little to allow this movement. So if my foot was, if I was able to do this move, this position at about 45 degrees, to get my 90-degree angle here by that foot going up 90 degrees, this hip now has to come in another 45 degrees. So just make sure that you're nice and comfortable here. And then we're going to take the arms up. And as you exhale, you're just going to reach over towards the side wall or door, and then you're going to come back again. So you're just going to reach over, and then you're going to come back. You're exhaling as you reach over, and then heading back. And once more. And then heading back, and then release. And bring your feet back to the center. Then we do the same thing to the other side. So you're going to turn your left foot out to the left. And again, make sure that this whole leg, the femur, the leg bone follows as well. So that now, if you were to bend that knee, your knee is going to go straight over your toes. And remember, by getting this hip to open up, your opposite hip, so your right hip, will have to roll forwards a little to allow for that movement. So let that happen. Keep both feet grounded, the legs straight if you can, let the arms float up, and then just gently reach into your left fingertips as you slide over to the left. Exhaling as you reach, inhaling as you come back. And one last round. And releasing again. And then bringing the feet back to the center. Walk them in and out towards each other. Give them a little bit of a shake. Bring them together, and as you inhale, lift up onto your heels. Onto your toes, lifting your heels, and exhale, bring them back down. Inhale, lifting up onto your toes, the balls of your feet. Exhaling down, just once more. Perfect. And then you'll take the legs nice and wide apart again. Again, turning your right foot out to the right. Let this whole leg go. So it's a lot safer for your knee and your ankle joints if you allow this whole leg bone to rotate in a socket. And don't worry about how far this opposite hip has to come forward. Just let it do what it needs to do. Then press down evenly through both feet. So feel that you can press down to the joint of your big toe, the joint of your little toe, and the center of your heel. And the same with your back foot. So the legs can be super strong and straight here, rounding down to the earth. Inhale as the arms float up. And then as you exhale, just allow yourself to lean as far over to the side as your body comfortably wants to. And then tilt yourself down. And you can reach your left fingertips up towards the sky or bring your hand into your waist. Feel that your chest can be nice and open. Don't feel that you need to reach for your toes or your ankle or the floor or anything like that. Feel that you've got the strength and the stability in your abdominals to hold you here. Nice, comfortable breath. You're pressing the energy through your back foot, through that left foot. Feeling that you've got the 3 points of your triangle, your navel, your left foot and your right foot, forming a nice stable base. Your inhalation is going to bring you back up. The exhalation will release the arms. And then you just swivel over to the other side. So from again, center point, let your left foot turn to the left. Let this whole femur rotate open. Let that right hip do what it needs to do. Feel that you've got a stable base, so press down through those feet. Inhale, let the arms float up. And as you exhale, just gently reach into those left fingertips. Going as far over as your body allows. tilting yourself down. Let that front hand kind of rest wherever it feels comfortable. If you want to, you can reach those right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Otherwise, if that shoulder's not too happy with it, you can bring it into the hip or your lower back. The chest can stay open. Feel the neck as an extension of your spine. And obviously breathe. Smooth, steady breath. Again, feeling that the abdominals are what are holding you. So you're not using your hand to kind of hold the weight. If I were to move this hand, my body doesn't need to kind of collapse or anything. Using the strength of the abdominals. That's why we move them up a little bit. Press down through the feet as you inhale, coming back up. And as you exhale, release the arms. Fold your feet in and out towards each other. And then from here, you can do any counter pose that you feel you need to. So if you feel you just need to roll down and up, you can do that. If you want to stay rolled down, you can do that. If you want to go to a wall, or if you have a table and you want to come into a half or forward bend, do so. Whatever works for you. You're just going to be there for, say, 3 or 4 breaths, feeling that you're completely comfortable and able to relax and release into your spine. Bringing about a sense of balance, bringing your body back into a neutral state. And then whichever counter posture you've chosen to do after your Trikonasana, your triangle, you can release out of that safely. And then from here, we are going to come back down onto our mat. We're going to come and do 1 or 2 postures lying down, and then we'll get comfortable for relaxation. So if you already know, because we're not going to be doing anything too intense, that you want to have a jersey or socks on or something like that, you're welcome to put those on. And when you are ready, coming down onto your backs again, lying, or finding a nice comfortable position to lie in. And easing with a few rounds of your Trikonasana. So as you inhale, straighten your arms so that your knees move away from it. Exhale, draw the knee towards you. Feeling that there's a little bit of an openness and lightness in the abdomen. Bit of a release in the lower back. And after your last one, release the soles of the feet to the mat. Right. As you inhale, just gently allow your knees to open up to the sides so you take your arms behind you. As you exhale, squeeze your inner thighs together and bring your hands back onto your hips. So as you inhale, there is a sense of openness. So the abdominals that we're working quite hard with Trikonasana, we were working with the obliques. Just getting a chance to soften just a little as we work with the dynamic movement and releasing again. Activating. One last time. And then on your next exhalation, squeezing the legs close, bring your knees towards you, give them a good hug. Here we go. Send the legs up towards ceiling or the sky once more. Circle the feet. And the other way. Paddle them. Give them a little bit of a shake. If you feel that there's any other movement or posture you need to do to release, please go ahead and do so. If you feel that your back is comfortable and you're feeling steady, you can stay lying. You can make yourself comfortable for a little bit of relaxation, with a little bit of pranayama as you're lying there. some breathing, and then we'll go into relaxation. I'm just going to do it sitting so that you can hear me a little better. So if you need to place a soft pillow underneath your head, please go ahead and do so. If you need to put your blanket over you, grab your blanket, an eye bag. If you need a bolster or a pillow underneath your knees so that you're comfortable, please go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to actually mute everyone just in case, so that we don't disturb anyone during relaxation, if anyone sneezes or anything like that. There we go. Right, so I can see that everyone's nearly ready, lovely. Start off by, again, as you lie there, making sure that you are completely comfortable. So if you feel that you need to move your head a little from side to side to release any tension from the back of the neck, please go ahead and do so. And then let your head come back to the center. Make tight fists of your hands, reach your hands down towards your feet, take a smooth breath in. And then relax and release, softening your hands, softening your fingers, relaxing the arms. And allow the arms to maybe rest at about a 45-degree angle from the body. You can either have the arms turned up, or if you feel more comfortable with it, you can turn them down. Or you can even place your hands onto the abdomen. Then flex the feet, tighten the thighs, tighten the back, like squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then as you exhale, relax and release. Soften the buttocks and the legs, relax the toes. And just allow the heels to be turned in and your toes to flop out to the side. And that way you can relax and release into the inner aspects of your thighs. Inhale deeply. And then sigh the air out. And again, nice smooth breath in. And out. And last time, breathing in deeply. And out. As you lie here, take the attention to the pit of your throat. And do a few rounds of your J breath as you lie there. So as you inhale, you're listening to the soft rasping sound that you create in the pit of your throat. And the same as when you exhale. And if you feel that it is a little challenging or difficult to do on the inhalation, do it on just the exhalation. We're going to be working with the count, so as you inhale, you gently or slowly counting to a count of 4, 5. Pause and hold the breath for a moment. As long as it feels comfortable without causing strain, and then exhale to the same amount. 4 or 5, or whatever count you're working to. And then pause again for as long as you feel comfortable without causing strain. So inhaling, pausing, exhaling, pausing. And you continue in your own time doing a few more rounds. We're going to do 2 more rounds. Slow, steady rounds. If you find your mind wanders or you drift off or you lose it practice, just bring it back, starting with the inhalation. Making this the last round. And allow natural breath to return. As you allow the natural breath to settle and to ease into its rhythm, feel the coolness of the air entering your nostrils. That coolness is relaxation. Imagine that you're breathing in a lovely soft blue light. That blue light you can feel spreading through your face and into your head. And with each exhalation you find that your face and your head relax. Soft blue light filling your face and your head as you inhale. Exhaling, releasing, letting go. Blue representing the ether element in the throat center. And the sensation of space and lightness filling the room. Next inhalation, feel that soft blue light flowing down into the throat and neck. And as you exhale, all tightness or stiffness in the throat and the neck disappear. And with the next inhalation, feel that blue light traveling across your shoulder. Starts to move down your arms, down to your hands, to your fingers. Your arms, your hands, and your fingers filled with blue light. Relaxing further and further with each exhalation. Sensation of spaciousness, openness, lightness in the arms, shoulders. Feeling complete freedom in each of your fingers. As you inhale, imagine that blue light spiraling down your spine. And as it spirals down your spine to the very tip of your tailbone, it spreads in all directions so you can feel it traveling through your whole back. Each exhalation, relaxing the upper back, shoulders, the mid back, the lower back, the sacrum and buttocks. And as the back of your body releases, so does the front, your chest, your lungs and your ribcage. Relaxing the abdomen, pelvis and the hips. A soft blue light circulating, traveling through your whole torso. Feeling a sensation of spaciousness and lightness in each of the organs, between each of the organs, between each of the cells in the body. Now that you've created space in the upper body, allow that blue light to travel down through your legs. Pull down to the soles of your feet and to the very tips of each of your toes. That you're able to relax your upper legs and your shins, your calves, your ankles, and your toes. Allowing your legs to experience a sensation of lightness and softness. Feeling space. As you inhale, your whole body is filled with that sensation of lightness. And as you exhale, your whole body is soft and spacious. Inhaling, expanding in space and time. Exhaling, letting go of all physical sensations. Letting go of all thought, all mental activity and chatter. Until you notice that it is just you and the breath. The breath flowing in into space and exhaling the breath leaving. Continue to follow the breath in and slowly out. If your mind wanders, that's fine. Noticing that it may have happened. Just very lovingly bring it back. The attention of the breath, that blue light traveling in and out. Feeling light and free. Focus on your breath for 3 minutes. And then you are going to slowly release that practice. As you release your awareness of the blue light, as you release your awareness, breath flowing in and effortlessly into each part of your body, you become more and more aware of the physical space you are in, the ground beneath you, the space all around you, and you begin to breathe a little more deeply, noticing the rise and fall of your chest. Then allow your thumbs to move along your fingertips, waking up your hands, and middle of your toes, waking up your feet. When you really stretch your arms up behind you, and yawn if you want to. Stretch it diagonally through your body, right arm and left leg, left arm and right leg. Arms one way, legs the other. Take a nice deep breath in. And let it go. When you're ready, bring your knees to your chest. Give them a good squeeze. If you need to rock a little from side to side, please go ahead and do so. Eventually, you just roll all the way onto your right side with your knees bent up. And as you lie on your right side, you can make a pillow with your right arm to your head. Stay there for a moment, give your body a chance to readjust, locking in the energy. And take a moment to think of 3 things that you are grateful for today. And when you are ready, you can place your left hand in front of your chest. You can push yourself up into a seated position. And thank you very much for joining me in this class today. Namaste. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, week, month, year ahead. And I look forward to seeing you in the next session. Namaste. Let's